Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is non-coachy and I work with audiovisuals for over 17 years. I've been doing this for a long time, and not only that, but I had a company for 6 years in Brazil, and currently I work in a financial sector company, and I'm responsible for the video channel. But not only that, I've been working for a long time, especially because I had my company, with productivity. When you are a one-man band, it's not an easy thing to juggle and wear all the hats. So I started to get very fascinated with productivity, and this goes back to my infancy actually, because a lot of creators, they have a problem that they don't have many ideas. They have the creative block, as they say. My problem was always the opposite. I had a lot of ideas, but I struggled heavily in how to keep them, how to remember them, how to act on them. It's not about you having ideas, it's about how do you work them, how do you make them productive, how do you act on them, right? You can have the best idea that everyone has ever had in the world, but if you don't act on it, doesn't matter, right? So I started reading since, I don't know, 2010, on systems, on ways to keep my ideas. And then I found Evernote, which back then, I think it was 2010, 2011, was huge, because there weren't many productivity tools around. So I started using it quite a lot. But because I was traveling, I was in the US, I was a freelancer, and I started writing a documentary to record traveling from New York all the way to Rio, which is the city I was born in, the city I lived. And then I just couldn't keep up with the organization and I left the tool. But when I opened my company a bit later, I came back to the tool, but my mind was elsewhere. I was really focused on the technical aspect of my company, and I kind of let it slide slightly. Which brings me to when I joined the company that I work for currently. And I had no team, but because in my company, I created a team. I had editors, I had videographers, and in this place, I was alone. So I started to read a lot about it, and I was having some really interesting ideas that I was keen on acting upon. But because I couldn't really keep them and really work them, I was kind of forgetting them, and I didn't want to do that. So I started reading again, and it was when I stepped upon Tiago Forte's concept of a second brain. And that was fantastic for me. That was really life changing, if you will. When he said, well, your first brain is specialized in creating ideas, because your brain is not really meant for holding things, for keeping things. It's meant for having ideas, for creating rather than keeping. That spoke to me in such a deep level. So I dove right in. I started using, and because I had Evernote before, and when he started explaining the three types of brain, which I think now it's more like four, but we get into that later, which is librarian, architect and gardener. So I took my first look at the librarian. Why did I do that? I took the librarian because when he started explaining, it took me straight back to my infancy. You know, when you did something bad and you would go to the principal's office, the moment you would enter his or her lair, you had this really thick and intimidating metal filing cabinet on the side, and the principal would go and open the cabinet and start going through the folders, and it felt like a newbie's judging your deeds rather than taking up your heart. It was your deeds in that file cabinet. So when I heard about those, I thought, well, I think I'm a librarian actually because of this, because of my relation with folders, with pre-settled structure. So I went to Evernote and created the whole system based on folders, which Evernote works like that, and started writing a lot and putting on the folders, writing and putting in, and I was so happy, you know, because it was really decluttering my mind. It was like, wow, this is amazing. I can write, put it away, write, put it away, write, put it away. But then I realized I was doing just that. I was writing, putting away, and forgetting about it. And it started to happen when I started writing about something. I was excited about it. And then I did a quick search and I realized that I had already written about it. I just didn't remember it. I'd written about it like I think 6 months before. But it was that. And I was like, this is not good. This is not really working because now I'm duplicating information because I'm putting it out of my mind. And each note is its own island, right? You can't really interconnect them. You open the folders, the notes are there, but that's about it. So I had to go back. And I knew that if I tried architect, I would be setting myself into a trap because I've been always quite nerdy and always overcomplicated my systems. I usually make a system, overcomplicate the system, and then had to do the work of decomplicating it. I didn't want to do that with my notes because a note system is something that you work a lot around it, but if you need to change, you need to change a lot of stuff. So I didn't want to complicate them in the first place. So I tried Ghana, which was the thing that the type that I was mostly in doubt about it, uncertain about it. So I tried, I connected, and once I really nailed down the system in my mind, it was amazing. It really was, because now I had my notes, but I was interconnecting them and they were working in tandem. And because this is such an important thing for me, I started to talk with people about it. Yeah, I started to go and, hey man, I found this fantastic system that I think would help a lot of people. And then I started talking with people, and I could see that they were struggling with the same things that I was. Hence this channel. My objective here is to talk with you, and we already have fantastic channels with Ali, a lot of great ones, but they are slightly younger. So I think it's important to have my perspective as well. I hope you like it. So if you want to see more of this content, please hit the like and subscribe. And let's do this. Thank you.